And we're on board with Gabe, Coom, Grimy, and Nate Dogg. Gabe feeling good after that last game. I think if this team if they decide to stick together, who knows if they do or not, I think with a little bit of discipline, this team becomes very, very scary on the map. And we even saw a glimpse of that in that last game with Gabe's sort of a nice turn and burn onto Hisoka.
Yeah, again, we'll come back to that conversation many a times. Whether or not Gabe should be one of your front men. I know he's trying to find something new to his game, and I respect it big time, but I think there's plenty of gas still left in the tank for this guy to light up our screens throughout the competitive year. Alongside Grimy and Nate Dogg. To be fair, there's a lot of slaying prowess through this team in general. But yeah, I don't know about you're taking a real shining light here, and I feel like dulling it just a little bit by not allowing him or not having him be your front man. It's not about allowing. This is what Gabe wants to do. So we'll continue to have that conversation, and as we go, maybe Gabe figures out a nice balance. Gets to do a little bit of both, as he's worried about a team rotating in from over by the by. Gas station as well. Grimy gets a bit of damage in, backs one player down. Bullet's going to ring out. Oh, but Gabe's going to get caught. Oh my god, and get shot underneath and absolutely everywhere. And that's one of those moments where you start to learn that actually, well, all the cover on URZIKSTAN is pretty much made of paper mache, but you do get away with it. You do stay alive. Get yourself into the gas station. Now, how do you control this fight?
I like this. Immediately, we see this team kind of come together. This other squad setting up that sort of kill triangle that we know and love. But there's an opportunity if you overextend. These three could bring you on down. Grimy takes a lot of damage on the back. Gabe kind of lay in wait. You got an AK-74 in hand. Thing hits like a truck, but the recoil is insane. You got a Tonto in your back pocket as well.
I'm gonna come with you. I'm down, Gabe. Actually, this freaking. Get on the roof, though, okay? Come from right here. Come from right here. He's right here. On the heady. On the heady. Crack. Almost. Okay. I got back and it's in the
Here it comes. Coming on through. Somebody up to the top.
Oh my god, what the hell?
A little bit of a gremlin looking down on you. Gabe, Tonto in hand will put you on down. This squad is running away, backing on up here, but that might not be the case. Ocean Ups will get down as well. Grimy gets a knock. This player up top is literally a bullet. Grimy hops on up. That's Zayola. A quick 3 for this squad, sending them to the gulag.
Great work as well there out of Gabe. We got to see his POV. Does a wonderful job of continually repositioning, keeping those opponents guessing, and just tapping away at them from different sides, keeping them moving around on that rooftop. Never let them be comfortable. Unsettling the defensive position and let his teammates activate around him. Great work. Wonderful stuff. We just move on over. Almond, Aiden, Z-Smith, this trio that we have so much hope for through this competitive year. We saw a lot of great work out of them in the last map. Felt like they were starting to come online really, really well. Almond's shots are great. Leaves a body absolute flesh. That's Jawad who's been picked up. So you're wondering if it's Hamoud who's fleeing right now. And well, if he is getting hunted, and he won't have very far to go before he has to approach the water. And look at him, he tucks himself into a building. Almond's gonna line the nades up. Wow, and there you go, as simple as you like it. Was it Hamoud? Z-Smith cleans him up. Beautiful work by these three. Feels like we've seen them multiple times now. They're breaking teams down so effectively. It's just about getting them through to the later stages, I feel, at the minute.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good call out. I do like what I'm seeing from Almond. He's just using these nades as an opportunity just to kind of call out whether they should push some of these teams or not. And right there, it's a great way. He drops the nade on top. You see him, he gets that quick fix confirmation, knowing that, you know, he dealt some good damage to that player. And he immediately makes the call out, and we see Aiden surge on forward to be able to help break them on down. Great work. Oh, and then immediately comes out.
I think they have an advance. There was another team here, wasn't there? We can advance, actually. We have money, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Good comms from Almond. Again, that's one of those moments where an IGL comes in so clutch. You can very much so get locked in on the fight, chasing the points, thinking of that short-term game. Instead, guys, why are we making this difficult for ourselves? We have money. We can go and get ourselves in advance. We can the lay of the lobby at the minute, how things are looking. We don't need to enter the fog of war here. We can get all the intel we need and play off the back of it. Right now, VP, I mean, do we have a showman in chat came up with like a shortened name for the Falcons with the fact that we don't have Shifty? I'm going to need one for Virtus Pro. With Ebates now on board. Again, running around with staffs and skateboards, I will never get used to this. Ebate, oh my god, he survives by 1 HP. Uses special move in Jor and just about stays in the fight. Sage and Noobs will try and cover on over. I always like the idea of trying to hold this region, but it's so difficult because there's so many teams collapsing in from different areas.
Yeah, I feel like you just get, you know, you're trying to play up top here. For you to really get any meaningful angle, you kind of have to hop on up to the side. And the second you do that, there's just so many angles that people from below can, I guess, kind of like laser you out of. And that's the tough part. So for right now, though, they'll kind of hold it on through. It looks like I think this was the team that maybe Aiden, Ziesman, and Almond were kind of near looking at.
We could just go loot, like Low Town, I think.
You can kind of hear just the ideas of where they'd like to go. Where do you want to play? A shame that Dongi, of course, I believe needs a sub and that Ebates has to come on in here. But this squad, I mean, realistically, all you need to do is just try and make that top 40. I feel like that's only their main objective. Just do what you can, get your points, get your multipliers, take advantage of them, get that top 40, get Dongi back on in here next week, and you can really have your time to shine.
A couple UAs.
Nothing to the right. I got his head.
Gotta be tough for Ebates, by the way, coming into that trio. They're set up. Oh my lord, Destroy. Oh, he gets a little bit over aggressive there. Cooks it a little bit too hot on landing. Noob breaks his legs. Will just about stay up and allow Rated to get into the fight and deathball this. And here comes the aggression. Staff's out. T9's out. Where did this player get to? You got to the next building on over. Rated will take shots. Rated will clean it up. That is going to be Skinner, who's dealt with. And players out of the EMEA space. But yeah, going back to the conversation about Ebates, tough to go into that team. Feels like in Virtus Pro, you know, Noobs, Dongi, Sage, you got 3 players specifically designed for each role. With all due respect to Ebates, obviously love him to death, but going in there being asked to do Dongi's role, God bless you.
Yeah. I mean, I think at that point, you're just helping play info, trying to figure out how do you want to, I mean, you know, obviously they understand they want to play it, but I mean, Ebates, I'm saying, yo, Sage, you're one of the best gunnies in the game, and we've been making you play anchor. Let's go ahead. Let's let you run around a little bit, my friend. You know, let him and Noobs kind of really play on up. But realistically, I think they're focusing less, more so, and I think some of these lobbies on strictly role play. Let's just play as a 3, play together, make some trades, right? Do some of the basics of Warzone that we like to see. And Ethan's a talented player. He knows how to do all of that, right, at the end of the day. So I would say that's what I would probably say that we're really starting to look at. Destroy, keeping his sights down below as has been taken on out, sent to the gulag. You got this player playing the stairs below you, right on the edge of gas. He's keeping his eyes on over. Somebody else drops. Gets some good damage, but there's no armor tag. There's nothing there. He knows they're going to have to move at some point, but so are you, so you can't hold this angle for too long. Hearing there's somebody underneath him as well, so he has to keep his eyes there, pushing on forward. He takes a lot of damage. Truly evil. He'll get taken out in the gulag thanks to when you see the buyback come on through. Destroy has a great idea of how you want to play this, but it's every time you're trying to play a different angle, you are getting absolutely laser beamed.
I guess even worse is Rated gets found by Goldie. So this is actually a map 1 winners rotating in then. Asidu, Goldie, Sammy. Team currently sat in 7th in the overall rankings, doing a great job. And Destroy's going to be bullied down. And that's Lays and Artur as well, so the Germans are in close proximity to this. So there's a couple of teams rotating in. This is a frustrating one because for Destroy, you probably expected to come away with a couple of kills here. Now you're just fleeing for your life. Rated will win his gulag against Aiden. That's a massive one to get back in because I don't know if and Destroy are going to get out of this.
Yeah, I think Destroy realizing, I don't know if he can. Okay, at least before you go down, you take down Pentagon. You'll get the full. Can he manage to stay alive? As a PDS, you could go ahead and drop this on him, but as you come on over, shots coming on through, it won't be enough. Other edge of zone on this side of the map. FIFA kill just barely making it on in. 35 players remaining. This is a squad that we really need to kick it on up here. Through the first 2 maps they had, it was a lackluster situation, but it's a new grouping. Come on over, Goldie. He's actually the only one alive on the squad right now. Enigma, huge gulag win. He's able to do it. That's against Pentagon. Keeping the dream alive for these 3.
Looks like the 3 of them had a couple of kills as well between them, so hot starts. Sometimes that can be a bit of an undoing. That might be why they're holding on by a thread right now. I haven't tuned into FIFA kill stream in a while. Very curious about what the wheel spinner in the back is for, by the way. FIFA. Rotating here with Lennon, with Echo. Gonna get their load out together. Playing around Popov. Well, you know who this patch of land is usually controlled by? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, okay. Alright, well, I don't know what was going on with the audio there, but... Well, you lose Echo for a second, as he's trying to sort himself out with the whole loadout situation, and now the three can get themselves in the vehicle. Now, of course, as you rotate on over, you end up in a spot here where you could attract a lot of attention. It's about how you cross over this water. Ideally, you would have taken the bridge, but I don't think you'll get the opportunity to do that. So it's head north, cross nearer to military base, where the river's a little bit shallower.
Yeah, I think you heard them saying we just got to zip here and yeah, boys. Okay. Ooh. Tell me he's on like a 25-hour stream or something. That's all I'm gonna say. You made your way to the mid-island. Somebody else is gatekeeping you, though. Go ahead, hit the zip. Do you manage to get this for free? Yeah, I mean, you make most of it. You get in a zone. Use a little bit of this water as cover. You see some vehicles across the way. Shots coming in at the back. You have to jump back into the water. Play back on up. Thankfully, tempered. Gets you back on in very quickly.
Yeah, it's a little bit disconcerting for FIFA when he starts to exit the water on the other side and sees a bunch of loot. It says that someone is picking players off here on that embankment. And, well, yeah, FIFA guesses right. Keeps himself close enough to the water so that he can dip in when he needs to, but, well, it doesn't get much easier as he's down to 1.5 plates. Yeah, they are indeed, but FIFA, well, he's going to try and activate the third part of that situation. I'm not sure, I think that's actually two different teams that are fighting each other on the two different hills, the embankments, but then they keep peeking out over to where FIFA is. And every time FIFA surfaces for a half second, he gets shot. He's going to use that smoke to get himself another half moment. Do you have any more? Yes, you do. There goes one. Here goes another. I mean, Lennon's managed to find one, but he's traded. Echo cleans up. It's Unrational and co. FIFA will just about stay up. He does have a self. If he can get back into this and get Lennon's loot, opportunity to restabilize. I tell you what, restock's going to come in clutch as well, as it gives him another smoke to reposition with.
Yeah, go ahead, grab some of those plates. You at least get two, put you back up to the top. You grab a gas mask. A little bit of a disjointed play there from these three. FIFA the one who makes the way on over early, but it's kind of behind him is Lennon, and then way behind him is Echo. So it's like, rather than playing as a team, as a full three, you're kind of playing as this split trio, and just unfortunately, yeah. FIFA, he pushes on forward. Lennon gets found behind him. He has to back on up, and now it's just on Echo and FIFA. Thankfully, you do have the cash if you can manage to find a buy station to get Lennon back on in, but that is a tall ask. You look on over towards the military side. You have this buy station, but there's a couple of teams that are there. Do you maybe try and just play forward a little bit, get into zone, hit the one that's a little bit more deep? Could be tough, though, when you have this team to your right. Beef.
Honestly, I think we can hit the train, bro. Yeah, they're still moving in. It's not being stopped yet.
Okay. You hearing that call out? They'd love to hit the train, get the buy that's on the train, get Lennon back on in. You might even be able to ride this just a little bit. Kind of maybe get a free rotation.
Come back to something you said a moment ago about how they are playing very split. And again, like Echo, Faith, they're very far apart here. Obviously, this is a relatively new knitted together trio, so it's going to take them a minute to understand each other, but it becomes more concerning the more I see them right now. I love these gents and want them to perform, but
Posash Jones 87 subscribed for 6 months, my
great
god.
job to back that opposing player down. Should have the opportunity to hit the buy. We'll get Len back in. That signal flare will tell this opposing team that this is a recovering squad, so might get aggressive. He's going to back them down. Out goes the Semtex. You do need to plate. He's trying to let Echo activate on the left-hand side to try and squeeze up on this kill, set up a pinch. You got to be wary of the fact that the train's about to run into the gas. Times it well, gets out. Lennon's here to join the fight. This player's going to have to dip off at some point right on top of Lennon. Does a good job. Was worried about that for a moment, but Echo arrives, so does Lennon. FIFA does great work there. And that's those moments where you see how the three can work together, where it gives you a lot of hope. More of that, please, gentlemen.
What we would love to see more of, that is for certain.
Can we take that height?
I'm looking over you, Eddie. To the right, Eddie. I got shot from both of them. To the right, lower right.
Low left is weak. You can res him. I got you over. Go quick. They're getting shot at. You're good.
I like positioning here from Bates.
I like these comms. He's kind of taken some of the aggression over towards him, and while he's been trying to provide the oversight On to Noobs and Sage. It's just, wow, no opportunity to sit here. You're playing on the edge. Go clamp from deep. Mount it on up. We'll be able to bring some of them. Other side of the map, Youngsters, Oakley boys, Z-Laner taking on out, but Youngsters here with 5. It was a lot of hope for this man at the beginning of last year's comp season. It was a IGL who was just frying. Let's go ahead. Let's hop on into the Gulag. It's Ebates versus Hunticity. Cypher 91 in hand. This is going to be huge. Noobs loses their Gulag. It's all on to Ebates right now. Sliding on out. Molotov is there. Can you push him on through? You're trying to do your best just to go for some of these pre-fires. Get any amount of damage you need. Zip comes on down. You're hearing the shots go on out. A Do-Si-Do, a Tango here in the middle. And Ebates plays it beautifully. Keeps them alive just a little bit longer, at least into the 1.4 times multiplier.
Beautiful stuff from Ebates, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we tune in with him there at the back end of that fight. I think his positioning is actually great. He's trying to cover on over. It does leave him a little bit exposed. 2 players that are on wider positions, and that's how he eventually gets found, and it unsettles that situation. I thought he did very well, majoritively speaking, but the way he works that Gulag, incredible composure there. I mean, he knows that there's a lot of eyes on him. We know he takes his game very seriously, so coming out on top there, an important moment to do so. Move on over, Authorize, Zepti, Myapo. Weird trio there, so I won't lie, but wonderful to see Authorize and Myapo back in the thick of things. Zepti will be cleaned up. I think that's Master 5K as a Frenchman out on the other side here. I think he's alongside Renzo and Zach, potentially, but either way, they're trying to rotate in from the hills. Authorize and Myapo, they will have this gas station for now. Got to pay attention to a lot of different angles because they're one of the few bits of cover, so teams will be trying to bully them out of here. But also, you got to consider this rotation, and this is one of those spots we were talking about before, Dan. A lot of open hills to roam through. Very difficult crossings.
Well, this team is staying alive. One team that unfortunately didn't stay alive for too long. We watched Ebates win the Gulag, and then it looked like was not able to get the landing, as they have now been taken on out. But they made it pretty decent. I think they had some solid kills, so you made it to at least some sort of a multiplier with the 1.4. You know, it's not a great game, but it's at least, it's not a 0. And I think for some of these teams, that's maybe all they're kind of looking for. Reminder, we're just looking for our top 40 to advance from today. It doesn't matter if you're 39th or 1st. You get no advantage moving on into finals day. So you just need to do enough. But speaking of Authorize and Myapo, though, yes, I totally agree. I love seeing them back on into the mix. They were a duo that we loved seeing normally alongside with Rated. We're picking up Zepti here, trying to make it on happen. Some great shots coming out from Authorize. He'll slide on back. Doesn't have to get too aggressive. You do have this PDS behind you, though, and I think Authorize has made that read. Can you find this team that's moving their way on in? Might have been able to do it. Great shots. Armor crack is there. So he's trying to slide around. Use this loadout to your advantage. Doesn't have to get too crazy now because you have this hill right here. There was a no nade up on over. We'll invest the trophy system. Make sure nobody's able to counter nade him on back. You would love to be able to hop up on top of this loadout crate, but he knows there's got to be people on this outside. There's another PDS that goes on out. Can you gatekeep this team?
It's tough because at some point you've got to think about the rotation. As Myapo sticks his head up, he gets gone. I tell you what, Authorize has done well to find himself one. That's Lennon, who was probably straying a little bit too close to the sun. Authorize steps up because he wants a bit more of this. I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. He's going to have to get aggressive on this. He's going to be gate kept. There's a gun shot even off to his right. He knows there's a couple players directly in front of him. You just got to pick one. You just got to hope. The golden gas is going to break, so you're going to start to chunk. You got to move. You find FIFA kill. That's going to be a squad wipe. So a team rotating in late will be found. Authorize has done great work so far, but this may well be the end. He's looking for anything that will keep him alive for a moment.
What?
Oh, no, he gets shot. He gets shot by somebody just as he lands, I was going to say.
I thought he had it, but I thought it was a gas thing that brought him down. But no, unfortunately, it is a bullet. But getting those 2 quick little kills out in the gas, feeling good. Back on over. Top 4 situation. You got Gabe and Nate Dogg still alive. They see this PDS going on out the other side of this wall. Gabe making sure nobody gets in for free. No free real estate. Ooh, some good shots come on out. He'll be able to answer back. Nate Dogg, though, tries to hold the heady. Gets absolutely ripped on out of it. He'll get taken on down. That's a grenade coming in up over the top. That's Gromalok, who will take down Nate Dogg. Sneely found by Gabe into the top 3 right now. Smoke
on the red map.
gets invested.
Yellow ping.
We'll let Gabe move on over. Grab some of the loot from his fallen teammate.
Teams of 3, Gabe. You're the only solid.
He's on that wall.
Some great comms coming on out from Nate Dogg, letting him know it's basically Gabe versus the world. You want to hold on out here. Maybe you can third party this. Bunker Buster coming on in. That has to be on top of this building. It is. Will land on in. Kind of gatekeep that. You have just a normal gas mask if you are Gabe Kuhn. Trying to be able to bring this on out. So shots go on out. You're playing in the gas. Some great shots go through. You find Gromalok. You invest the PDS. Back on up. Plates coming on in. Who pushes you?
Gabe.
Gabe!
Oh my god.
They're on. Yeah, just run in the zone. Or you get a free kill.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Can Gabe do this? That's the question. Any gas masks? No, doesn't look like it. I don't think he can make his way on in. He almost just turns on FLS, but look who it is. Back here again. Twitty, FLS, and Gooey. After game number 2 win, well, game number 4, they'll kick it with another. But Gabe, MVP of his team, it feels like this event. It's every time we come on over in this end game, he's always last one alive, and he's always squeaking out just another 1 or 2 points.